Okay, in this video, I'm going to make my case for each of the four Heisman contenders. At this point in the race, it's really a two-man race, but there are still technically four contenders in it. So we're going to go through all four of them, and I'm going to make a case as to why they should and why they shouldn't win the Heisman. And then at the end, I'll give you who I think should be the winner. Number one, Travis Hunter of the Colorado Buffaloes. Um, just incredible stuff from Travis Hunter. One of the best receivers in the country. He's also a great cornerback. You rarely ever see football players playing on both sides of the ball, but that's what Travis Hunter brings to the table, and that's ultimately the best case for him. Is he plays great on both sides of the ball. The problem is Colorado was they were looking like they might sneak into the playoffs, but they really fell off towards the end, and I just don't think that they're that good. Like, I don't think they're as good as people say they are. So that's probably going to hurt him a little bit. It's hard to win the Heisman when your team's not super great. So I think that'll hurt him. But I think at this point he's probably the favorite. But yeah, great case that he has. And our second guy, it's basically down to Genty and Hunter at this point, although I do have two others I want to mention. Ashton Genty has put up a ridiculous year. 312 carries for 2,288 yards, 28 touchdowns. Just eye-watering numbers. Obviously, the case for him, top 5 running back season in college football history when you look at the numbers, like Reggie Bush, Barry Sanders type stuff. And also, if you take him off of Boise State's probably like a 6 or 5 win team. The case against is that he's really the only thing Boise State has going for it. Like, Boise State's a solid team otherwise, but this guy is the only reason they're going anywhere, and they use him a ton. He gets like 30 carries a game, which is my concern, is like, oh, he's being used this much, that's why he has 2,000 rushing yards. But obviously, it's hard to knock him for that. Just an incredible season. Number 3, and the first of the two that I think don't really have a chance to win, but they deserve to be mentioned as well, Cam Ward of the Miami Hurricanes. He's had a great year. Pass completion percentage, it's good, but it's not like elite level. Yards are great. Touchdown to interception ratio is great. He can run a little bit too, but he didn't do much of that this year. Obviously, the case for him, you've got wonderful stats here, and obviously he's been Miami's best player, no doubt. But the knock is, and it's unfortunate, and I think it's stupid. Miami is probably not going to make the playoffs at this point. The committee, you knew they were going to put in Alabama just because of that logo. I just don't get why Miami isn't in there. They're 9 points from being undefeated, but instead they're 10-2. So unfortunate for Cam Ward. But yeah, he's going to be a top draft pick this year. So even if he doesn't win the Heisman, he's definitely going to go places. Another guy I think that can go places is Dillon Gabriel. He's been at this for quite a while. This is kind of like the first year he's really been one of the guys for Heisman. I don't remember if he was with Oklahoma those 2 years, but great stuff from Dillon Gabriel. Almost 74% completion percentage. 3,200 yards is a bit low. Only 24 touchdowns is a 6 picks. Still a great ratio. And ran the ball about the same that Cam Ward did, although he has 7 touchdowns. The case for him, obviously, Oregon is ranked number 1. I don't think they're the number 1 team, but that's a topic for another day. Oregon is ranked number 1, and these are great numbers, but I feel like he's automatically disqualified from this because Cam Ward clearly has the better numbers. So Dillon Gabriel's going to come in 4th in the Heisman race, and so that brings us to who I think is going to be the winner. I think Cam Ward, wonderful stuff, but just not going to be enough against Travis Hunter and Ashton Genty. My winner, Ashton Genty. I cannot see a world where he doesn't win the Heisman. this is like what the first year in a while we've had we're gonna have a non-quarterback Heisman winner, in my opinion. But I mean, the numbers he's putting up is ridiculous, and my main argument is the impact. So let's hypothetical scenario here. Let's say you swap Travis Hunter and Ashton Genty. Colorado is a championship contending team with Ashton Genty on it. If you put Travis Hunter on Boise State, yeah, he would have a big impact, but I just don't think he'd have as big of an impact as Genty does with them. Like, maybe they're like an 8-win team still, but I don't think they're as good if you swap them. It's just the impact that it comes down to. And people love to mention the snap count with Travis Hunter. That's not an argument. I mean, it really isn't. I mean, he's played well on both. He's played really well on both sides of the ball, but the impact that Ashton Genty has had on Boise State goes nowhere without him. And I mean, on Colorado, you've got a ton of star power besides Travis Hunter, and it just makes sense for Ashton Genty to win. I do think Hunter ultimately will get the nod just because he plays both sides of the ball. It's kind of like Shohei Ohtani in the MLB. It was him and Corey Seager last year, and I was telling people, I'm like, Corey Seager, I mean, he's clearly had the better impact. The Angels wouldn't be much better or worse that year, in my opinion. I mean, Ohtani really didn't help them that year. Well, Seager led the Rangers to the playoffs, but that's baseball. That's another topic once again, but it's similar in the fact that Ohtani plays both sides of the ball, and he won the MVP. But it's got to be Genty, but I think it's going to end up being Hunter, which is unfortunate, but both of these guys, I mean, you got the top 3 guys that I mentioned will be first-round picks this year. Dylan Gabriel's probably going to be a third-rounder. But all of them have great futures in the NFL. Even if they don't win the Heisman, I think all of them are going to do special things. Well, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you for watching. Let me know, who do you think is going to win the Heisman? I think it's going to be Genty. Do you think it's going to be Hunter? Do you think Ward could maybe somehow pull off a win? Who knows? Y'all have a great day. See you next time.